Hello and welcome back to a double stitch creations tutorial. This is our tutorial number 2 for Bailey Bunny, our pencil topper. We are working on his body today. Okay, let's get started. We are working with the white yarn. We're working from the pattern and we're going to make a slip knot. So I always leave a tail with my slip knots and then we weave that in a bit later on to secure the base of our toy or a bunny's body. So I get my yarn and I wrap it around my pointer finger twice. I get the back loop and I pull it over the first loop. Then I get my tail and I wrap it in front of the loop that is still on my finger. And I get the back loop and I pull it over the first loop again. So we have a slip knot that we can pull tight or loosen, just like in the first tutorial. And you don't want it too tight. You want to be able to glide because you want to be able to get your stitches back through that loop. The way I hold my yarn is I just hook my pinky under the yarn here. I turn my hand and my pointer goes here. And then my index finger and my thumb are going to just lightly hold my work close to the hook. And the closer to the hook you hold it, the easier it is to work. And then we're working with this little bit of yarn here. Alrighty. We're going to chain 2, so in crochet it's called yarn over, so we're putting our hook under the yarn just here between our pointer and our thumb. And we're hooking it and we're pulling it back through the loop that is on our hook, so that's our first chain. And now we're going to make a second one, so doing exactly the same thing under the yarn or yarn over, pulling our yarn back through the loop on our hook, so that's our second. Now we never work, we don't usually work in the, so we're going to put 5 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. So that means here's our hook. This is our first chain because it's closest to the hook, and the second chain is here, the one that's further away from our hook. We don't work into the first chain because it just undoes. So we want to work into this second one, which really was the very first chain that we did, but we're working, it's called the second chain from the hook. So here's our hook. This is our first chain and this is our second. We want to work into our second chain. If you want, just where the tail goes through that slip knot, you can just pull it out so you can see where you're going to put your stitches, and we'll tighten it later. So now we're going to turn our hook and we're going to put it into that hole that we created, into the second chain from the hook, so into that hole we created. We're going to put 5 single crochets into this same stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull that yarn back through that chain stitch or that hole we created, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both. So that's our first single crochet, and we're just going to repeat into that same spot. Yeah, yarn over, pull it back through that stitch, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both. So that's our second single crochet. So we're doing this for 5. Just keep going into that same hole that we created, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both. So that's 3, 4 and 5. So it's just doing the same thing. And that completes our first round to the body of our bunny. Okay, you might remember from the first tutorial we talked about stitches having a front loop and a back loop. So we're going to look for the first stitch of that we did. So the first stitch. And we're looking for the front loop and the back loop so we know where to put our hook, which is here. So we're going to put our hook under both those loops. And with this, we're doing an increasing round, and we are going to put 2 single crochets into every stitch around until we have 10 stitches. So we're making our body a little bit bigger. So into that stitch, so make sure you've gone under both those front loop and back loop, yarn over, pull your yarn back through that stitch, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Now we're going to do another single crochet into the same stitch, into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on a hook, yarn over, pull through both. That's 2 single crochets. If you want, you can put your stitch marker in here to keep track. So we're going to do 2 into every stitch around until we have 10 stitches. So just keep going now, 2 into the next stitch, 2 single crochets. And then 2 into the next stitch, so just keep going. We're doing the same thing all the way around. So 1 and 2, and then 2 into the next. Just making our crochet a little bit bigger to work with. And 2 into the last stitch, and you should find that you'll have 10 stitches for this round. And don't worry if the hole in the center opens up, we're going to weave in our end very soon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, round 3, we're still increasing and making our project a little bit bigger. So this just gives it its nice little shape by doing slow increases, and it makes our work secure as well. Okay, so this time with round 3, it's 2 single crochets into the first stitch and 1 single crochet into the next, and repeat around. So that means just repeating that combination all the way around until we get to 15 stitches. So it's 2, then 1, 2 single crochets and 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets and 1 single crochet, all the way around back to the start, and you'll find that you'll have 15 stitches. So we're doing 2 single crochets into the first stitch. So putting 2 into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. And if you want, you can put your stitch marker back into the first stitch, and we're just going to work all the way around back to that stitch marker. This time it's 1 single crochet, and now 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet, now 2, then 1 single crochet, now 2, and 1, 2, and then 1, and you should find that you will have 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alrighty, at this point we're going to pause and we're going to weave in our end. So we're going to pull it tight, pull the center tight to close that hole in the middle, get our tapestry needle, and we're just weaving it in and out of the base of our bunny, making it nice and secure so it won't come undone. Once you feel like it's secure enough, you can trim it. There's no right or wrong, it's just weaving it in and out, making it nice and secure, and then we just trim it. You can leave a bit of a tail, you're not going to see it, it's going to be on the inside of your work. Okay, round 4 to 6, which is 3 rounds in total, it's 1 single crochet into every stitch around for the 15 stitches. So we're doing 1 single crochet, so just into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. So we're just doing that all the way around for the 15 stitches, and we're going to repeat that for 3 rounds. So I will get back to you at the end of round 6. So 1 single crochet into every stitch, and you're doing that for 3 rounds, and I will get back to you at the end of round 6. Okay, just completed round 6, and you can see that our body's starting to take shape, and now we're going to be decreasing to make the neck of our bunny. Okay, so round 7 is single crochet decrease, then a single crochet into the next stitch, and repeat around until we get to 10 stitches. So a decrease is essentially joining 2 stitches together just to make it a little bit smaller and to give it a shape. So to do a single crochet decrease, you go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to go into the next. So instead of going yarn over and pulling through both those loops, we want to go straight into the next stitch and joining them together. So into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the very next stitch, yarn over, pull up another loop, so 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that's our first single crochet decrease, and we want to put our stitch marker in there. And then we're going to do a normal single crochet, so into this next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both, and we're just repeating that all the way around back to our stitch marker until we get to 10 stitches. So this one's a decrease, into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up another loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now just a normal normal single crochet into the stitch, yarn over, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both. And now we're doing a decrease, so into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then into the very next stitch, yarn over, pull up another loop, that's 3 loops on our hook, then yarn over, pull through all 3. Now a single crochet by itself, and now a decrease. And just keep repeating this through a pattern. So decrease is joining 2 stitches together, and then a normal single crochet, and now a decrease, and then just a normal single crochet, and you should find that you have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Round 8 is just 1 single crochet into every stitch around for the 10 stitches. So just doing normal single crochets, 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way around, so you can put your stitch mark in the first. Now we're just doing, so that was our one. I'm just doing 1 for each of the 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so this completes our body. So what you want to do is cut your yarn so it's long enough to attach the body and the head together. and then you just get your crochet hook and you just pull that yarn all the way through and pull it tight. And now you just, with a little bit of hobby fill, I like to get the end of my crochet hook or a pencil and just help push it in. Throw down a little bit much here. It's so easier with a pencil. Okay, once you've just add a little bit more. Once you've got your body filled, we can now attach it to the head of our bunny. Alright. To get the head of a bunny, I always like to put the tail bit at the back. So putting this bit at the back, and I just hold first of all we put our tapestry needle on. So put our tapestry needle on, and then we just hold the head in place where we'd like it. And now I just go into the head of the bunny, and then I go into the first, so our very last row of stitches on the body. I just go into those and then back into the head. So into the body and then into the head. And just keep checking to make sure the head's way straight and where you want it. And going into the body, into the head of our bunny. And I just do this all the way around. Just keep going. And into the body, just picking up the stitches from the body of our last row that we did, and then just going into the head of the bunny. Into the body, into the head, and just check that I'm happy with how it's coming out. Yep, because they can move on you, so you just keep checking. And it's annoying to undo and redo, so it's best to check as you go. Yep. To the body, into the head. Now I just repeat this one more time to make sure it's on nice and secure. So just go around one more time, into the body, into the head, just securing the head and the body together. And once you've done it one more time, I'll get back to you to finish the body and the head off. Right, so just go around one more time, into the body, into the head, and I will get you. Once you've finished attaching the body and the head together, we're going to knot it off. So I just create a knot, and I usually do about 3 knots, You can do whatever you think you need to. Pulling it nice and tight. And then I just weave this in and out of the body. Just tucking it away. And then once you're happy with that, you can trim it close to the body so you can't see. And that is our Bailey bunny, body and head attached, and we've just got the ears and the arms and the tail to go, and that will be in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.